Hello, and welcome to the Freddie Mac Connect Matching Borrowers to Down Payment Assistance with DPAOne overview and panel discussion. All lines are in listen-only mode. This session is being recorded and will be available following the presentation. If you have any technical issues, please use the Q&A feature and someone will assist you. Lastly, using the handouts icon, you will find links to the speaker bios and the presentation deck. With that, I will turn it over to Sandeep Kaur, Senior Product Manager for DPAOne. Sandeep, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Camden. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Freddie Mac Connects, and we welcome you to the DPAOne overview. I am going to be talking about our DPAOne platform. We will go over the overview for DPAOne first, then we will go through a quick demo for DPAOne, and then we have a special treat for you. We have a panel discussion with one of our lenders and one of our DPA provider early adopters. So let's start with the overview. We all understand that at the core, the biggest deterrent for home ownership is the lack of down payment funds. You all know it too well that saving up down payment funds and for the closing costs is a lot of borrowers. More than 40% of the American non-home buyers don't have enough money put down for down payment on their home. Among millennials, these numbers are even more disheartening, with 67% having set aside no money for down payment or closing cost. The good news here is that there are about 2,000 active DPA programs available in the US. However, many of these programs are underutilized. So when we started thinking about DPAOne, we had a discovery phase for DPAOne, and we conducted ethnographic research to identify the frictions and pain points that the loan officers, lenders, and the DPA providers face in the down payment assistance industry today. We talked to a lot of loan officers and DPA providers to understand what are their challenges on a day-to-day basis. What we heard from the loan officers was that even though there are 2,000 or so programs available, these programs are very difficult for both the borrowers and the loan officers to locate and navigate. All of these programs are set up very differently. Their structures are different. Their eligibility requirements are different. Even the steps to acquire the program before closing is very different from one to the other program. So this makes it a very challenging problem for the loan officers to go through with the borrower. And I'm sure this is a frustrating thing for the borrowers also. Now, what we found out is that loan officers and borrowers have to go through different lender portals, reservation systems, one, to understand the down payment assistance program, and two, to use it and apply for it so the borrowers can have it for their closing. Some of our regional and national lenders have teams whose sole responsibility is to research these programs, create a reference sheet for their loan officers to use, so it makes it easier for them to quickly access the program and use it for their borrowers. While this approach helps the loan officers in the short term, we all know that these programs can change quickly and can get outdated very fast. So, which creates a problem for the loan officers in the long term. So, how do we move from frustration to success? That's where DPAOne comes into the picture. Freddie Mac developed DPAOne as a free online tool to host DPA programs nationwide and ease the matching efforts for housing professionals. Now, DPAOne is a two-sided platform, just like Airbnb and Uber. This has down payment assistance providers on one side who are coming in, maintaining their program, managing their programs, creating new programs in DPAOne. And on the other side, we have the lender loan officers that are coming in to look for programs, find and match programs for their borrowers. So our promise to loan officers is loan officers can quickly find, understand, and match the best down payment assistance options for their clients by providing program information in one place, saving time and driving more business. And our promise to the DPA providers in DPAOne is DPA providers can easily manage their programs in a standardized format so that information is effectively and efficiently delivered through one centralized mechanism. So now let me touch on some of the features of DPAOne and why DPAOne is good for loan officers and DPA providers, and how do we provide on our promise that we made to them. Now, driving efficiency for lenders, we have made one of the things you'll see in DPAOne, and I'll go into the demo for that, is you will see standardized format for all of the DPA programs. So if you're looking at one program or any other program in DPAOne, all of them are set up in a very standardized format. You have the same structure. One program looks exactly similar to the other program. This will help the loan officers to understand the program, and it will help them to translate it to the borrowers. This will also help the DPA providers friction that they say that they have submission errors. So once we have this standardized format, it's easier for the loan officers to understand, and it'll be less submission errors when they submit their application to the DPA providers. The second thing in DPAOne is we have a really robust search capability. This search capability delivers real-time results matched specifically to the borrower information you enter. So you will see that they have to enter a few parameters and they get a list of the results, the matching programs. And in those matching programs, we've also provided the option to compare up to 3 programs side by side. The loan officer can compare the 3 programs with their borrower. That will help borrower understand and find out which program works best for them, and they can go with that. And another option we have in DPAOne, or another feature we provided in DPAOne, is the capability to share the results. So the loan officer can share the results with their borrower or anybody else if they choose to do so. So basically, in DPAOne, we are achieving a shared goal to get home ownership for more and more borrowers. Now, let's move on to our rollout plan. And this is the state-by-state rollout plan till the end of the year and then for 2024. So we launched DPAOne in 2 states, Texas and Minnesota, on September 25th. And the reason for this state-by-state rollout approach is we want to make sure we have maximum programs for the loan officers to go into the platform so it becomes a value add for them, and it is giving more programs to the loan officer so the borrower can utilize more programs and borrower has more choices from the list of programs that are available. So in October 30th, we launched in Florida and Virginia. And then in November, we are going to be launching in California and Kentucky. And then December, we are launching in Illinois. And then in 2024, we plan on launching for the rest of the states in the US. So that's our rollout strategy. And now that we've looked at the demo for the overview for DPAOne, I would go into a small demo for DPAOne. Once you log into DPAOne, it brings you to this the page, the landing page, and we call it the Find Programs page. And this is where, as I mentioned in the overview, the loan officer can put in a few values and get matching results for the borrower. Now, if a borrower comes to me, I'm a loan officer, and they say, I'm looking for a property in the state of Texas. I put in the state as Texas. The county and city are optional fields. You can leave it empty if you don't want to choose, but if you want to pick, once Texas is selected, all the counties in Texas will be shown here. And if you select a county, all the cities for that particular county will show up here. Now, in the purchase price, we have 2 options for you. It can be a fixed purchase price or a range. Now, if your homeowner or home buyer knows exactly what a price point they're looking for, you can keep it as fixed. My borrower says, I have no idea what I can afford. Let's see what I can qualify for. So I'm going to put $350,000 to $400,000 for them. And then we ask for the financial information. And here we ask for the annual household income and annual qualifying income. Now, both of these pieces of information are important because based on the underlying source of funding for a program, a down payment assistance program, can be looking at annual household income or qualifying income. And to make it easy for our loan officers to understand and the borrowers to understand what we're looking for, you have this eye icon. This tells you that the annual household income is the income for all the people ages 18 or older who are expected to live in that residence. So my borrower says it's going to be 50,000. And then for the qualifying income, this is the people that will be on the final uniform residential loan application, and that will be 45,000. And then we ask for the credit score. And this is down payment assistance provider's requirement, not ours. If you have a co-borrower, they want the lower of the two credit scores. And then borrower contribution. This is a field because in some DPA programs, the provider is looking for some skin in the game from the borrower side. My borrower says, I don't have any money to put down as a borrower contribution, so we leave it as it is. And then last section we have is the additional information section. This is where you put in if your borrower is a first-time home buyer, and this also we've given the definition. If your borrower has not had a ownership interest in a residential property in the last 3 years, they are considered a first-time home buyer. My borrower says, yes, I'm a first-time home buyer. Then we have the number of occupants, and these are people who are going to be living in that property. And this is only the two-legged people, no furry animals included there. So I'm going to put 3 here. Now, as you can see, we have these 3 check boxes here. And these are from working with our early adopters. One of the things they asked for is in this day and time, sometimes one down payment assistance program is not enough for their borrowers. So they wanted to find out if they have the ability to see programs that can be layered on top of other programs. So this, if I check this checkbox, this pulls all the programs that can be layered. So that means 3+ lien position. Then we have this second checkbox, which is the unlimited funding. And this is for sometimes the loan officer used to start the process with their borrower. Halfway through the process, the funding is out on a program. So that is a frustration point for them also. So they wanted to see which other programs that will have unlimited funding. And then the third one, again, is if you want to pull programs that have no deed or resale restrictions, this checkbox is for that. So that's it. Once I put all this information and I click search, I will see matching programs for my borrower. Now, this shows me 22 programs based on the criteria that my borrower has given me. So as you can see at the top, it shows you the criteria. And if my borrower says, you know what, I think I need to change the one of these fields, you don't need to go back, start again. You just click on this modify search. And here you can change the number of occupants. They say, oh, we have 2 occupants. So fine, we search again. Then we have these programs here. So what you see here is all of the programs that are matching with the criteria for your borrower. You see grants that are in green. You see loans that are in purple color. And then you see the provider name. You see DPA term here. You see the maximum DPA assistance amount for the program. And then DPA loan forgiveness condition. And then what we gave, another feature that the loan officers had asked for is the side-by-side comparison for these programs. And for that, we looked at a lot of e-commerce sites and Amazon and eBay, and we came across this capability where you can compare 3 programs side by side. And I'm going to pick a state program. Pick these 3 programs to show you the side-by-side comparison, and then we click on compare. And see how you see all these programs side by side. There is this checkbox on the top to highlight differences. This shows you exactly what is difference from one to the second to the third program. And on all of these pages, you will see the ability to download. And this is the ability, this will download this as a PDF. So you can print it out for your borrower if you want, or it can you can save it on your desktop if you want, and the ability to share. And this gives you the capability to send this page, this comparison, to your borrower. If your borrower wants to take it, you can send it, put their email in, and you can send it to them. Now, if your borrower says, you know what, I think I'm interested in the first one. Can I look at the details of this? You hover over it, it becomes a hyperlink. You click on it, and that shows you the program details. And as I mentioned in the overview, all of these programs in DPAOne are set in a standard structured format. So you see overview on the top, you have participating lender section, you have eligibility requirements, and then you have the 3 grids, the maximum annual income, minimum credit score for DPAOne, and then maximum home purchase price. Then we have the program features, and then provider information. Every single program you open in DPAOne has that format. So the overview, let's start with that. Overview is just a summary of the program. What is the program offering? Then you have the participating lender section. And this is good for you to find out if your lender organization is a participating lender for this on this program. So if my my company has home in the name, all of the lenders that have home in their name will show up here. If I'm part of one of these lenders, I can find out, okay, my my lender organization is a participating lender for this program, so I can use this program and help my borrower. Then you have the eligibility requirement. This tells you if this program is only for first-time home buyers, and if there is a DPA borrower contribution with the program. Then we have the maximum annual income grid. This grid shows you by counties, by cities, first mortgage product, first mortgage type, and the limits of household income. And these are all the eligibility requirements that are put in by the down payment assistance provider on their website for this program. Then you have the minimum credit score grid. This shows you the minimum credit score for the DPA program. You have the first mortgage product, first mortgage type, maximum DTI, LTV, TLTV, and property type. This information is in this grid. And then the third grid is, again, this is similar to your maximum annual income grid, your maximum home purchase price grid. You have counties, first mortgage products, first mortgage type, maximum home purchase price, property type. All of that information is given to you here. And then one of the things here also is you have it broken down by targeted areas and non-targeted areas. So you have the ability to see all of that information. Then we come down to the program features, and this tells you the features of this down payment assistance program. It tells you if it's a loan or a grant, it tells you what is the maximum lien position that the DPA provider allows. So this program has maximum lien position of 2. That means it cannot be layered. Then whether it has unlimited funding or not, what is the DPA repayment structure, and then what's the maximum DPA assistance amount. And what is, if they have any description, you have all of that there. We also have if this program is has any homebuyer education requirements, and if any particular homebuyer education providers have been recommended for you to go get that education from, we list those here too. Then we have DPA loan forgiveness condition. And in case it's yes, we give you the detail. And this is, again, the information that's on the down payment assistance provider's website. And at the end, and this is the most favorite section for the loan officers, is your provider information. This gives you the information on their provider's website, their phone number, and their address and their email address. So one of the things we heard from loan officers was that they want to contact the provider with some questions. What do they do? So we have provided this contact DPA provider button here, which when you click, you get your email address will be populated up here. The DPA provider's contact email will be populated here. You can put a subject, you can enter an email body, ask your question, and you can send that email. So the provider gets it, they can look at it and respond back to it. Another thing, as you can notice on the top, we've given the last published date, and this is helpful for you to know when was the last time this program was updated. So you can leverage this to know, okay, this program has been recently updated or this program has not been recently updated. And this will give us some information on if there are programs that have not been updated, we can let the down payment assistance provider know that you need to come in and update your program. So it's up to date and it is valuable for the loan officers and whoever else is looking at it. Then you have the same share capability and you have the download capability here, where you can download this program as a PDF and save it on your desktop or print it for your borrower if they're interested in it. And then the share capability, if your borrower says, you know what, I am really interested in this program. Can you send it to me? I want to take a look at it with my wife and I'll come back tomorrow. So you can put your borrower's email address here, and you can send it over to them. So that's all the information we have for the program details page. One more thing I want to touch on is this all programs page. And this has all the programs that you have in DPA1 so far. So this will give you one place where you can go and look for any program from any state. So if I'm looking for programs for the state of Florida, I just put Florida here and click on this. We have 62 programs in the state of Florida. And there are a total of 326 programs in DPA1 right now. And as I said, we are doing a state-by-state approach, and we are adding new programs every day. So that's basically the demo for DPA1. And I really hope you see and find it valuable and see how we've tried to make it cater to your needs. And based on a lot of our early adopters' feedback, we have tweaked it and added features that are more valuable to the loan officers. That's it for the demo. Thank you. Now that we have had an overview of DPA1 and a demo, I would like to move us to the next section, where we have a panel discussion with our guests, William Lewis and Rhonda Mitchell, who have been actively using DPA1. William, who is a mortgage loan officer at US Bank, and Rhonda is our home ownership director for Southeast Texas Housing Finance Corporation, SETH. Both William and Rhonda have been our co-creators and early adopters, and they have provided us important insight that have shaped DPA1. So welcome, William and Rhonda. My first question is for you, William. As a loan officer, can you share how DPA1 has helped you better support your clients? What are your favorite features?
Well, good morning, everyone. There nationally in DPA, there are 326 programs available right now as of 10/3. There's about 45 programs in California, the state that I'm in. And there's about 18 providers in California. So that goes to tell you it's a lot of programs to keep in mind when it comes down to it. What has helped me the most is the simplicity of being able to click just the programs that you're looking for, the county, the city, and it gives it to you automatically, whether you want to layer down a first or second, third lien on that as well. And not just that, but the ability to save and share that information in the PDF format that is given. It does make you, when you come forward as the professional in that field, there are many programs to memorize or to keep in mind, but with DPA1, it makes it way much simpler and accessible just at the click of a button. I believe that's the greatest function that I found to be available with DPA1. And when keeping that in mind and providing responses immediately to our customers, again, you come across as this special, the subject matter expert on that issue. And then it becomes way much easier for people to come and use the services.
Thank you so much, William. I really appreciate your feedback, and our goal is to help you grow your business and make this application, this platform, a simple one for you to use and leverage. Rhonda, I am so glad you are here to provide perspective from the DPA provider's side. I would like to ask you the same question. How has DPA1 helped your organization, and what features do you find most beneficial?
Hey, thanks, Cindy. And I wanted to be sure I thank Freddie Mac as well for the devotion and attention you've given to DPA1. Here at Seth, we're excited for the opportunities created by DPA1. This allows us to get our information to the lender population when they need it the most. And that is when they're trying to help a client and have a question, right? And that is why, as an HFA, I know that I can access my information and make sure it's updated and current for my lenders. And when I have a new program, and I just launched one, My Home Plus, I can get in and make that information accessible to the new lenders. And I've learned that when I put a new program out or make changes to an existing one, it is crucial that my loan officers and lenders can access that information. So many times, I see loan officers using outdated resources and guides, and sometimes, even outdated income limits that are from the previous year. And with Freddie Mac, helping create, right, this one-stop shopping for our lenders, we can make sure that our lenders are working with the most current details and the most current program requirements. And I do want to say that I especially like the way the DPAOne platform, not only do lenders get the program information right, but they can verify they're an approved lender. Sometimes I get calls from lenders that are not even aware they have access to DPA programs. And I like that DPAOne can quickly let a loan officer know my program is an option for them. And then when you combine the fact that they can share this information with others, my mind is blown. This is an amazing opportunity.
Thank you, Rhonda. Appreciate your kind words, and we do appreciate your partnership. So, William, as Freddie Mac has started into outward launch of DPAOne, what would you say to loan officers who are on the fence about using this valuable resource?
Well, it's a very easy decision here. You just got to use it. You have to know if you've navigated as I have, and I appreciate Freddie Mac for giving me the opportunity to be on the pilot program from the get-go, from the beginning of this program. Soon enough, I learned that this was going to be a very, very useful tool for us loan officers to come in and pick the program that we're looking or that would fit on the customers that we have in front of us. And so my recommendation to my fellow loan officers is go ahead and learn what the benefits of Freddie Mac DPAOne. Log in, learn how easy it is to navigate, to be able to learn about the different programs if you don't know them yet, because there's many sometimes that you don't know. You probably need to be certified. Find out if your lender or the employer is certified to offer this program, so that way you're not kind of rambling or proposing things that you're not even, that you don't have the permission to provide with your lender because you're not certified for one. But most important, be able to provide responses immediately to your customers. And again, as I couldn't express that in any other better way, that the sooner you come back with a response, the more informed you are, the more likely your customers will be using your services to provide one of these programs, because you are the expert on this matter and you have the knowledge, and it's all provided thanks to DPAOne.
Thank you, William. Appreciate all your kind words, and this means a lot coming from you. And we hope that the loan officers sitting in the audience are excited to use DPAOne firsthand and see what value it's going to provide to them. And finally, Rhonda, how does DPAOne impact the way you do business with loan officers?
Hey, well, I'm going to tell you, DPAOne is on the way to becoming a valuable resource for lenders all across the U.S. And I know here in Texas, and I'm sure this holds true for lenders all across the country, loan officers are more comfortable working with programs they understand, right? I mean, you don't want to make promises you can't keep or set up expectations for a client only to disappoint them when they're not able to access that much needed down payment and closing cost assistance. And before I worked for Seth, I always say before I worked for Seth, I worked for Seth. So I was a lender and I did community reinvestment, and I did it in the Houston market. And I'll tell you, Seth was my favorite program. And if you came to me and you wanted a different program, I'd have you talk to somebody else in my office, right? Because I did Seth best. But by providing access to guidelines, and that's going to include things like credit score, debt to income, loan term structure. Freddie Mac and DPAOne are going to ensure the success for our lenders working with Seth programs. And I keep a lender toolbox in my program's website, and I have added a link there for lenders to visit DPAOne, and I consider that a resource for my lenders to use. And with DPAOne, my loan officers don't have to pay, right? You're not paying for information to get connected to programs. We have it here for you. And I really like that my contact information is included so that if there is a question that's not easily addressed, right, they can reach out to me for more help. I mean, DPA1 is all about partnership and working together. And working together, we can all increase access to affordable housing in our communities. So thanks so much for including me today.
Thank you so much, Rhonda. I think this has been a great conversation, and it is clear that DPA1 helps us all reaching our shared goal of making home possible for more and more borrowers. Thank you for your time today, and we are very excited to continue working closely with you. Thank you for being a partner, and we would love for you all to join our DPA1 community. Over to you, Camden.
Thank you, Sandeep, and our special guest, for your great presentation, and thank you for everyone who attended the session. Your opinion is important to us. Please take a few moments to complete our brief survey so that we can continue to bring you timely and relevant content. This presentation will be sent to you following the session. You can also log in anytime after the conference to play back this or any other session. Thank you for your time and enjoy the rest of the conference.